Welcome to Tina Tries. If you grew up watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, you've probably wanted one of those sleek LCARS computer terminals sitting on your desk. Today we're making one with a 3D printer and an iPad mini. Make it so, next on Tina Tries. Today's project combines pop culture with functionality. This file is by Calmar81 and can be found on MakerWorld. This was printed on an H2C, an H2D, and an X1 carbon in silver, black, and white PLA. This took 36 hours to print and used just over 1 kilogram of filament. You'll also need 8 2x5mm magnets, some miter apple with the activator spray, an angled power cord, and an iPad mini. As usual, I'll link everything in the description below. Let's check out the build. Here are the printed pieces. Let's put together this TNG computer terminal for my iPad mini. This should be fun. We're not really gonna do a whole lot of gluing. I am gonna use miter apple with the activator spray. This little holder is made for batteries. It holds 5 AA batteries, so you probably want to use some dead ones instead of wasting the good ones. It has a curved side and then a flat side here. So this flat side is going to go against this notch here. So that's the part we're going to glue down. It doesn't really fit against any of the other surfaces because this is curved and the holder is not. So we're just going to glue it down there. And that side is always open. So what I'm going to do is cover it with some tape so that whatever I use for balance is not going to fall out. I am not going to use AA batteries here, mostly because I don't have any depleted AA batteries. And if you do put the batteries in there, they will not come out again once this is glued in, or at least the one in this top slot will not come out because it will get stuck behind this little outcropping here. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Make sure that you use depleted batteries if you're going to use those. So since I don't have any AA batteries, I'm going to use some of my decorative rocks from when I did the self-watering planter. And I'm going to fill this holder up with the rocks, and I'm hoping these are as heavy as batteries would be. We'll see. And I'm going to cover the end of this with some tape. For right now, I'm just going to use painter's tape because I want to see if this even works as a solution for weighting this down. Make sure that the short side that's next to the bend here is left uncovered. So I don't want the tape on there because this is the part that's going to get glued down. And at least this way, if the rocks are not heavy enough, I can take the tape off and try and fill it with something else that's heavier and see if that will work as a counterbalance. The long flat side is going to go here, and this short flat side is what we're going to glue down. Let's do that. And there we have our weight holder. Next step is to glue this little decorative white button right into the middle of our base here. I don't think I'm going to use the activator spray on this part because this is a slightly shiny PLA and I'm not sure how it's going to affect the finish. So I'm just going to use the miter apple by itself and put this in there, and we'll go from there. And there we have our little decorative white button. Next step is going to be to put our iPad into the cover here. So there is this beautiful cutout in the back here that exactly fits an iPad mini. So there are different clips that you can print that will hold your iPad into place in here, but it will still allow you to remove it should you need to. So depending on which version of an iPad you have, you're gonna print different pegs. Mine is a Series 4. I have mine pre preloaded with my LCARS background, which is kind of fun. So first thing, you want to make sure that your iPad is set to always on. When this is in the frame, the home button here is going to be covered, and you're going to need one of these 90-degree cables if you want to give your iPad power and you don't want to keep removing it from this holder all the time. So get one that has a 90-degree plug like this, and then we are going to set this into our frame. They should just snap right in. There we go. Now we're going to make sure that our cord winds around underneath, and we are going to feed it through this slat here. So we're going to go down through the top and out through the bottom and the front. Next up, we're going to put the little iPad holder pins in here. They're all shaped like X's on one side, and we're going to put the long ends over the iPad, and they just snap in. There we go. So there we have the 4 pins on the back here, and this is in there. So that's not going to fall out, which is great. So on the back of our cover, there are 4 spots to put some magnets. And in our case here, there are 4 spots to put magnets here. For this one, we are going to use size 5 magnets. And I'm just gonna glue the 4 into the back of our cover here first, and then I will figure out the polarity and I will glue them into our case. All right, so there are our 4 magnets on the back side of our back cover. Now I'm gonna figure out the correct polarity and glue their matches into the back of our case. What's going to happen is when this goes in, this side of our case cover is going to match up with the left side as I'm looking at it right now. So I'm gonna match up the polarity on my magnet, put some glue on here, and then I will put that magnet in here. This matches, and I want that part to be facing up when I put it into my case. And I'm just gonna keep going around. So this one is going to match right here. Let's make sure we get the polarity correct. So now we are done with our glue and our magnets, so we can put those away. And since this was miter appled, these are dry, so let's test it out. There we go. Our back of our case is secure. So the last step, you should be able to slide yours into this slot right here. In the back of our base, there is this slot here, which we are going to feed our power cord through. Don't pull your cord through yet. I think I am going to coil it up and stuff it into this space with the USB end out. So I tucked everything into this space so that hopefully I can slide it through, and then I should be able to pull the USB part out. All right, now I should be able to get my USB-C cord out through the bottom. There we go. So you can just fish your USB cable out through the bottom there. Goes into the channel right here on the bottom, and then it plugs into the wall. And the rocks worked really well as a counterbalance here. So this is not gonna fall over while you're using it. Here is the finished computer terminal. I love how sleek this is, and it is really sturdy. And it's a really fun way to use those old iPads that you might have lying around. Here are my rankings for this project. Ease of printing. This one gets an 8. This one does require an AMS unless you want to paint on all of the black details. Other than changing the orientation of the main frame section, I didn't need to change any of the other built-in print settings for this file. I did have the main frame section fail twice on me. Then I decided to click the auto orient button in Bamboo Bamboo Studio, which laid the frame flat on its face, and then it printed without issues. When choosing which holder pins to print, there are options, so make sure that you pick the right pins for your iPad. Ease of assembly. This one gets an 8. There are no instructions for putting this together on MakerWorld. However, it is relatively intuitive. Everything is a really snug fit straight off of the printer, so don't try and force the pieces together, especially when you're putting the frame into the base, or you risk breaking it. Make sure that you cover the end of the weight holder with a piece of tape so that whatever you choose to fill it with does not fall out. Rocks were a great option for filling that weight holder, especially if you don't want to use depleted AA batteries, which could potentially corrode. Also, you'll want to make sure that you set your iPad to always on, because the home button will be covered once it is in the frame. You won't be able to access the home button unless you take the entire top section apart. There is this nice little slot on the side that allows you to depress the power button with a pointy object without having to remove the iPad if needed. If you do a Google search, there are a lot of really cool and interactive websites that have LCARS displays that you can use on your terminal. Now I just need some Earl Grey. Hot. That's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new episodes. Let me know if you've always wanted your own LCARS display in the comment section below, and I will see you on the next one.